What if most of the relationship advice you've been hearing is built on emotion instead of reality? The Stoics believed that suffering doesn't come from people, it comes from our expectations about people. Many men spend years trying to understand women, hoping that one perfect answer will finally make relationships easy. But Stoicism teaches something different. It teaches that you don't control another person's feelings, loyalty, or choices. You only control your own character. Today, we're exploring several psychological patterns that are often discussed in relationships, not as universal truths about all women, but as observations that many people experience. Whether you agree or disagree, these ideas can challenge the way you think. Stay until the end, because the final lesson may completely change how you approach attraction, respect, and emotional strength. 1. Attraction is often influenced by confidence, not neediness. One mistake many people make is believing that constant attention creates attraction. In reality, confidence often speaks louder than constant approval. People are generally drawn towards those who appear emotionally secure and have purpose in their own lives. Stoicism teaches that self-respect begins when your happiness no longer depends on another person's validation. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself not to become a slave to other people's opinions. The more desperately someone chases approval, the less attractive they often become. This isn't about playing games, it's about becoming someone whose life has meaning beyond any relationship. Ironically, that independence is often what others find appealing. Anyone can make promises, anyone can say they care, but over time, actions reveal far more than words. This applies to women, it applies to men, and it applies to every relationship. Stoicism encourages judging people by what they repeatedly do, not by what they occasionally say. If someone's actions repeatedly create confusion, inconsistency, or disrespect, believe the pattern instead of the promises. Your peace is worth more than temporary reassurance. Strong people pay attention to behavior, not fantasies. Modern culture often celebrates emotional extremes, but Stoicism teaches balance. When you react impulsively to every message, every argument, every rejection, you surrender control of your inner world. Emotional maturity isn't about hiding feelings, it's about refusing to let feelings control every decision. The calmest person in the room usually has the greatest power. People naturally trust those who remain composed under pressure. That quiet confidence creates safety, and safety builds respect. 4. Never build your identity around someone else. One of the greatest Stoic warnings is attachment without self-control. When your identity depends entirely on another person, their mood becomes your mood. Their approval becomes your self-worth. Their absence becomes your suffering. No relationship should carry that much weight. Healthy love adds to your life. It shouldn't become your entire life. The strongest relationships happen when two complete individuals choose each other, not when two incomplete people expect each other to provide permanent happiness. People often ask, how do I make someone respect me? Stoicism gives an uncomfortable answer. Start respecting yourself first. Set boundaries, keep your promises, develop discipline, improve your health, build your purpose, speak honestly. Walk away from situations that repeatedly destroy your peace. Respect isn't demanded, it's demonstrated. When your actions consistently reflect integrity, many people naturally respond differently. Even if they don't, you still win, because your character remains intact. Perhaps the greatest Stoic lesson has nothing to do with female psychology. It has everything to do with your own psychology. You cannot force attraction. You cannot force loyalty. You cannot force love. Trying to control another person's emotions only creates anxiety. Instead, control your reactions, control your habits, control your mindset. Become someone who can remain peaceful whether people stay or leave. because true confidence doesn't come from being chosen. It comes from knowing your value regardless of who chooses you. The Stoics never promised perfect relationships. They promised something far more valuable: inner freedom. Remember, every person is unique. No single rule explains all women or all men. But understanding human behavior while mastering your own emotions can help you build healthier, stronger relationships. If this video made you think differently, leave a comment with the lesson that challenged you the most. And if you're interested in more Stoic wisdom, psychology, and self-mastery, subscribe and join us for the next journey. Until then, protect your peace, master yourself. Everything else follows. Here's a reality that most people don't want to hear. People don't always show you who they are in the beginning. They show you who they are when they no longer need something from you. This isn't just about women, it's human nature. As long as someone benefits from your time, your attention, your money, your emotional support, or your presence, they may treat you well. But what happens when the circumstances change? What happens when you lose your job? When you become sick? When you stop chasing? When you stop giving endless attention? That's when character is tested. The Stoics believed that adversity exposes truth. Comfort hides it. Pressure reveals it. Instead of asking, "Why did this person change?" ask a different question. Were they always this person and I simply refused to see it? Many relationships don't end because people suddenly become different. They end because reality finally replaces fantasy. A wise man doesn't become bitter after learning this. He becomes observant. He learns to appreciate actions over appearances, because appearances can be manufactured. Character cannot. Number 7. The biggest mistake is ignoring red flags because of attraction. Strong emotions have a strange ability. They make intelligent people ignore obvious warning signs. You notice disrespect. You notice inconsistency. You notice manipulation. But because you're emotionally attached, you explain everything away. Maybe she's just stressed. Maybe it'll get better. Maybe I'm overthinking. The Stoics warned against allowing emotion to overpower reason. Love should never require blindness. Healthy attraction makes you peaceful. Unhealthy attraction makes you anxious. Notice the difference. If someone constantly leaves you confused, if you're always wondering where you stand, if you're afraid that one wrong sentence will make them disappear, you're probably not experiencing peace. You're experiencing emotional dependency. And dependency is never the foundation of a healthy relationship. Real confidence comes from being willing to lose someone rather than losing yourself. That is freedom. Number 8. Your purpose must always come before your relationship. One lesson repeated throughout Stoic philosophy is simple. Every person should have a mission greater than pleasure. When your entire world revolves around one person, you slowly abandon your own dreams. Your hobbies disappear. Your discipline weakens. Your ambition fades. Eventually, you become someone you no longer recognize. Ironically, that version of you is often less attractive than the man she first met. People admire those who are building something meaningful, whether it's a career, a business, a skill, or a life based on purpose. Purpose creates confidence. Confidence creates emotional stability, and emotional stability improves every relationship. Don't make someone the center of your universe. Invite them into a universe you've already built. That's the difference. Number 9. The Stoic secret: never chase what can walk away. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself every morning that people would disappoint him, not because they were evil, but because they were human. Expecting perfection from another person guarantees disappointment. The Stoic answer isn't to stop loving, it's to stop clinging. If someone wants to stay, welcome them. If they choose to leave, let them go with dignity. Never beg, never destroy your self-respect trying to convince someone to value you. Your worth doesn't increase because someone chooses you, and it doesn't decrease because someone doesn't. That is the ultimate Stoic mindset. You don't chase, you don't manipulate, you don't pretend to be someone you're not. You become a person whose peace cannot be stolen by another person's decisions. And strangely enough, that quiet strength is what people remember most. The greatest truth about relationships isn't really about women, it's about you. The moment you stop trying to control others and start mastering yourself, everything changes. You think more clearly, you choose better relationships, you tolerate less disrespect, and you finally understand what the Stoics meant when they said, "The strongest person isn't the one who controls others, but the one who controls himself." If this video challenged your perspective, comment below with the lesson that stood out the most. And if you're ready to build discipline, emotional intelligence, and a Stoic mindset that lasts a lifetime, subscribe now, because the next lesson may change the way you see people forever.